Hi, my name is Doug Reynolds. I'm a realtor in the Sacramento, California area. I work with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, and this is my monthly video update in regards to the market in the area. This is for the end of April and the beginning of May. So let's get in and talk about the statistics real quick here. We had a huge shift. For the past few months, we've been talking about the winter slump, the winter slowdown. And then I was saying last month about how as the weather starts to heat up, typically in Sacramento, the market starts to heat up a little bit. Well, this amount of sales jumped huge. We had a 45% jump from February to March, the amount of solds that was sold. So in February, there was only 1,200 solds in our county. It jumped all the way up to 1,750. So we're starting to see that transition from the winter to the warmer spring and summer months that are usually typically real hot for the market in our area. So the sales jumped. Because of so many sales, the inventory has now gone down to 2.5 months. I think the banks maybe will release a teeny tiny bit more to get that kind of back to 3-4 range, but still kind of relatively low inventory. And then since most of the sales that closed in March were still kind of they generated during the winter months, the median just kind of trickled down a little bit there. It went from 169 to 166, okay? So as the amount of sales pick up, that should flatten things and stabilize things. As I've been talking, last month I said probably 1 or 2 more months of softening, and then I'm kind of expecting mostly through the rest of the year to be pretty flat here. So expect that to kind of start happening. Now let's talk about the median price in the county for a while. If you remember, we peaked in August 2005. We were way up here. The market just dropped like crazy. It went way down month after month after month, okay? In February 2009, we bottomed out at $167,000 as our median sales price. After that, the market went back up, and it actually peaked in June of 2010 at 194,000. So we dropped February 09, dipped June 2010, peaked, and we've been coming back down since. So we're actually at 166, which is a tiny bit below where we last bottomed out, okay? So I think because of that, that's showing this is kind of a bottom indicator. Granted, there was the government first-time homebuyer tax incentive that helped that market there, but I think we're getting back to kind of that bottom trough where just prices probably are just not going to go a whole heck of a lot lower. They may soften a little bit more, but we're kind of in that territory there where we were last time. So I think it's going to flatten out here in a month or two and just kind of be flat for the rest of the year, but we'll see. Let's talk about some other stuff. Short sales still definitely dominating our market. If you need help with a short sale, if you're behind on your payments, worried about being foreclosed on, we've talked about this in the past. I specialize in short sales. I've got a team together for getting your house sold as a short sale, so feel free to call, email, let me know. We can get together and work on saving your house from being foreclosed on. One thing I want to talk about this month is there's a loan product out there called HomePath. It's through Fannie Mae. And what it means is that it's basically a bank-owned house that's been foreclosed on. Fannie Mae now owns it. And the problem is that a lot of buyers that have FHA financing, they just have a little bit of money for the down payment, and so they want to buy a house, but they have to get FHA financing. Well, the FHA, the guidelines for the property condition is pretty strict. It has to be in pretty darn good shape. And so the problem is with a buyer that has FHA financing that's in a lower price range, maybe 150 or 140 and below that, the homes in that price range typically aren't in the greatest shape. And there may be something, a little something here, a little something there that the home buyer might be totally fine with. They might say, hey, that's not a big problem. I can fix that once I buy the house and move in. I'm not worried about it. Well, the lender that's doing the FHA financing, they're saying, sorry, we have our guidelines and it doesn't meet the proper condition. So one thing that's come out is this product called HomePath by Fannie Mae. So it's a bank-owned house. Before they put it on the market, they have someone go in there, they take a look, they look around the house, they say, hey, there's only real minor things here. So we're going to actually pre-approve this. If someone wants to do the home path financing, then they know that the condition of the house is going to pass in regards to the financing. Obviously, they can have it inspected to find out if there's anything else that they need to be worried about or something, but it's going to fly with the lender. It's going to be okay with the lender. The home path financing, it's a little bit different than FHA. It's a 3% down payment rather than FHA's 3.5% down. But your interest rate's a little bit higher than what FHA would be. But to offset that, there's no mortgage insurance that FHA has, so they typically kind of balance out with the two. So if you're a buyer in that lower price range bracket, you might want to talk to your agent in regards to seeing if there's some home path properties out there available for you guys to look at. That way, you know, if you like the house and you're happy with it, you know the lender's going to be okay with it. So, home path, you can go on homepath.com and check that out as well too. There's a lot of good information. You can search for properties on there. Okay, since the market has done that dip, conventional financing almost went away completely. You had to have at least 20% down just to be able to get a conventional loan. That's why FHA has dominated the market so much the last couple of years here. And one thing, since the market has kind of stabilized throughout the country, you know, still softening a bit, but stable compared to where we were, conventional financing is starting to come back pretty strong. They now have 10% down options, as well as a 5% down payment for conventional loans has just come available again. And there's actually some ways you can pay the mortgage insurance up front at close, so then moving forward you don't have to be paying that private mortgage insurance. So you might want to talk to your lender about possible options with maybe a 5 or 10% down payment on conventional financing. That's starting to come back strong. So just a recap on the market: if you're a seller out there thinking about putting your house on the market, you need to price it right from the start. Buyers right now are very knowledgeable with the internet and everything. If you start too high and then you start bringing it down, you end up selling it for less than if you had started with a good aggressive price. You get a lot of activity, you get it sold quick. You don't want to overprice it. Price it right from the start, trust me. Buyers, there are some great deals out there right now. I can't believe some of the deals I closed last month for some clients that were just, couldn't believe that they were a homeowner for that price and that payment. They actually saving compared to what they're paying in rent. So buyers, if you're thinking about it, give me a call, shoot me an email, say, hey, I'm just thinking about getting started with the process. I can get you in touch with some great lenders, and we can see, you know, what we can do for you out there. So I hope you enjoyed this month's video. Feel free to connect with me. You can find me on Facebook, Doug Reynolds Real Estate. You can find me on YouTube, Reynolds Real Estate. I got my monthly videos are all up there. And you can also find me on my blog. Go ahead and go to my website, buywithdoug.com. Just click on the blog link, then you can take a look at all my posts. That's keep you up to date with what's going on in the market. Sorry the video was a little bit long this month, but we had a lot to cover. So hope everyone's having a great spring, and I'll see you next month. Clear skies.